There was a comment or two in my last engine video saying that I may want to pull the heads off this thing so I can take a closer look at the piston that was stuck on this engine. So I got me a gasket kit ordered off Amazon. The Jegs sells through there. A lot of companies sell on there, but Jegs had a good gasket kit on there. It had the head gaskets and everything in there. So I got it ordered, and it just came in. So right now I'm cleaning this engine all up and getting ready to take the heads off of it and see what all's inside this thing. I didn't really want to pull the heads off this engine just because I don't have a whole lot of experience with messing around with that kind of stuff and getting the torque spec back how it should be and all that. But I don't know, I just couldn't get it out of my head that, you know, I'd get it all together and get it put in a truck and then have problems with it later on. I really was wanting to see what was going on inside this thing. The more I thought about it, the more it bugged me. I didn't want to be fouling out plugs and everything else with all the rust and garbage that I was seeing coming out of that spark plug hole. So I finally just decided to get the complete gasket kit and go ahead and pull them off and see where we were at. I'm just stuffing all the exhaust ports and fuel pump openings and everything full of paper towels, so when I'm spraying this engine degreaser on here, I don't get it all inside the engine. Later on, when I'm tearing the engine down, I'll use my transmission fluid and WD-40 to clean the internal parts as I go. Here's the gasket kit I got for it. Looks like the two-piece rear main seal here. And this is the front seal for the timing chain. Then a bunch of small gaskets here. Looks like fuel pump gaskets and stuff. My valve cover gaskets. There's the oil pan gaskets there. Oh yeah, it's intake gaskets. Your head gaskets here. And then the water pump, or not water pump, but a timing chain cover. And that one there, I'm not sure what that thing is. I'll have to figure that out later on. Oh, there's the oil seals, or the valve seals I need to put on. And some exhaust manifold seals, intake, head gaskets. And then I bought a new oil pump for it. There's a little collar that keeps the rod on there. Well, we'll get this cleaned up and pull these heads off here and see what's under there. Looks like these head bolts got a lot of stuff in the threads. I'll have to get those all cleaned up. Not sure if these head bolts all got to go back in the same spot or not, but I got them laid out there, so hopefully I'll get them put back where they came from. Well, there's number one. You can see how bad the rust and corrosion is on that thing. That's a lot of that garbage I was seeing come flushing out of that spark plug hole. Then that back one's got a little bit of slimy stuff in there too. We'll have to clean them up real good for sure. Yeah, there's some debris in these water ports too. I sure am glad I went ahead and pulled these heads off. I want to clean all these push rods up real good and make sure the oil can get through them. I'll go ahead and wire wheel all these ports out here and clean these valves up the best I can. Get all this garbage and debris out of here. A little bit of rust in number 1, and then again in that back one, number 7. All right, let's get this other head pulled off and see what we got on this side. Yeah, there's a little bit of rust in a few of them too. I don't know if I'd ever got it cleaned out without pulling them heads. I'm just using my scraper and my wire wheel, some 400 grit sandpaper to clean all this corrosion off here, get everything smoothed back up a little bit, and then I'm using some WD-40 and transmission fluid, kind of keeping everything wet with that as I'm cleaning. But they're shaping up pretty good so far. Trying to keep it down to a 400 grit sandpaper. I don't want to do any damage to those cylinders, but I need to be able to get that rust and corrosion knocked off there too. It's definitely a big difference from the side I cleaned up to the side I haven't started on yet. You can see that number 1, how nasty it is, and number 7. So have my work cut out for me over here on this side to try to get it cleaned up as good as the other side. I got one of the heads cleaned up, starting to look pretty good. Got the other one to clean up yet, and a lot of bolts to clean up. We'll get these lifters pulled out of here and get them soaking in some transmission fluid. That way I can clean this valley up. I've got that number 1 cylinder soaking in transmission fluid because I think the rings are probably stuck in it a little bit. Try to free them up. Get this valley all cleaned out. Get this balancer pulled off here and pull the timing chain cover off and clean it up. Get that thing ready for a new gasket. I gotta get these push rods all cleaned up and all these bolts cleaned up. That way I can start getting this thing ready to go back together. Go ahead and pull this old oil pump off here and get it out of the way. Get all these gasket surfaces under here cleaned up. So at the start of this video, I was using a citrus degreaser on the outside of the engine. But once I opened up the engine and started working on the internal parts, I switched over to a spray bottle that I had some WD-40 and transmission fluid mixed up in, because I didn't want to get that citrus stuff down inside. the engine components or the rings or anything. I thought that transmission in WD-40 would work good for the inner cleanup. Thanks for sticking with me this far. Hopefully next time we'll start putting this engine back together.